Alright. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, what went down with this person. Okay. So I've been knowing his girl for a long time, his woman, but then she never tell me stuff about him. He's 33 years old, but then he been locked up. But then she didn't tell me. Before the first time I met him, when I was 22, he was alright, but sometimes I'm not controlling him. Like, he was a grown man, he'd do whatever he wanted to do, but he drinks. But then, what happened was because I was minding my own business. But then, from the 18th, she was telling me that if he doesn't stop with his attitude, he will get in a lot of trouble. And I said, bro, if I find out if you're doing stupid stuff, I'm not coming back. It's for my own safety. But then we had some problems. He always think that people are against him. But then I said, bro, nobody's against you. We got your back. But then he just felt like he wasn't buying it. So what happened was I was hanging out with his girl, but nothing happened. We just start hanging out. You know, we've been chilling. But then he gets upset because I'm hanging out with his girl. But I didn't know him. The only reason why I know his girl in the first place, 2 years ago, 2024, she found me when I was at the PAL. Yep. And Pokemon Go, we text each other. Me and her became best friends. You know, we start hanging out every day. But then every time, he starts to think that I was about to take his woman. But I didn't. Nothing happened. I wasn't scared. I was never scared of him. He was always out of control. He'd be drunk because I just didn't like the way he always been in my face. He always be in my face, calling my mom a bitch. And I told him to chill. And he was telling me about that's the only reason why your dad is gone, because nobody's never gonna have your back. And this is the only reason why I snapped at him. He took it way too far. But one time he grabbed me, my neck, almost slammed me to the ground. And I told him, bro, don't touch me. But that's the only reason why. It was the first time he put his hands on me. But that's the only reason why I knocked him out, because I didn't like the way he was, you know, doing stupid stuff to me. I'll tell you why.